The Women's Fund for Scotland is Scotland's only dedicated fund for women and girls. I'm Susan Morrison, and this is our podcast where we talk to inspiring women improving the lives of those women and girls today. In this episode, we meet Ewelina from HSTAR Scotland, a beautiful mind and a beautiful heart. Hi, Ewelina.
Hi.
Your organisation, is it HSTAR or HSTAR, or how do I pronounce that?
Our organization is called HSTAR Scotland. HSTAR is an actually abbreviation for Heal the Scars, Trauma and Abuse Recovery.
That's an awful lot of big ideas in 4 initials, isn't it?
Definitely, yes.
How long has HSTAR Scotland been around?
HSTAR Scotland was founded in August 2020 in the middle of a pandemic as a direct response to support women who desperately needed psychological and trauma recovery support, but because they were not in direct dangerous situation, they were kind of pushed away. Obviously, the high peak of domestic violence, direct insecurities, safeguarding concerns has put the ladies and girls who were already facing difficulties from the past traumas. Obviously, the resources were very, very limited, very broken. The trauma was increasing, and obviously NHS and other authorities, professionals needed to focus on the highest risk group, but harming on the way the ladies who were just on the process of recovery, and suddenly everything was stopped for them.
So as a response to the fact that there was nothing for them, you helped to set up HSTAR Scotland.
Yes, HSTAR Scotland provides a support for women and girls who are in a safe place, but they are survivors of trauma and abuse. What does it mean? Any woman who went through any kind of trauma, which is very complex, can be racial, can be based on mental health well-being, can be coming from bullying, from terrorist attack, from faith, from culture, from color of skin, from gender inequalities. But the lady is not at any risk of direct suicide or self-harm. This is where HSTAR comes and provide person-centered and trauma-sensitive counseling, mental health well-being. We also provide support as a representative for compensation scheme, which is a part of Scottish Government program. So every woman who went through abuse in the past, who went through domestic violence, who was assaulted, has right to receive a compensation. Obviously, there is no money which could pay for the pain.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the cost of living crisis, with all the financial strains we're having now, so many women, they can see the benefits of any kind of financial compensation being paid for them. HSTAR find out that solicitors, big agencies, they're great, but there is a really trauma-sensitive approach missing. So for the ladies who really wanted to deal with it, they were massively triggered. Some of them could not cope with the intensity of the past to deal with, and HSTAR become a legal representative for the claims, taking the case from very beginning till very end. On the top of this, no charging fees. By end of the story, if the lady would like to offer us donation, we will be delighted, we will be happy and will appreciate it. But this is not an obligation for the ladies, because we do not want to make a profit out of somebody's pain from the past.
No, unfortunately, there are quite a lot of people out there who would not be quite so moral about it. That's a very difficult moment that you are coming into a woman's life, though. When women come out of crisis, when they've been dealing with the crisis, they tend to be quite focused, they know what they're doing, and it's when they come out of it that you tend to find that they slightly lose focus. And so you have to move in at quite a difficult time then.
Definitely. I think it will be appropriate based on my own personal story. I'm a person who always was very pro-loving family. I'm a very responsible mother. We went through a very, very difficult time in the past, but I was always a person who worked, who never took drugs, who, despite the severe trauma, never fail in terms of being a daughter, mother, take responsibility for the home, for the house. And I was seen as someone who doesn't need help. while I was like a baby. After actually escape, sometimes I thought that the safety I found myself in is more difficult than being in the danger, because over so many years I've learned how to live unhealthy and dangerous environment.
Yeah.
All my cognitive behavioral tactics tools were around how to survive, how to protect, how to be able to wake up in the morning and keep going. And suddenly I'm placed in a safe place, but I don't know how to live my life. Everything is new for me.
Yeah.
There is a lot of torture from the past, psychological, physical, and this what is happening to women. So when I went to GP, I was not treated as an emergency, and we're talking well before the COVID, because I was fine, because I was clean, because I was fed, because I worked. But what was happening inside, I can't describe. But because I didn't have any drugs abuse issues, I didn't have alcohol issues, I was not jobless, they assumed it's okay. So this is the stigma we're living in. And this is the reason why HSTAR was funded, because I know what does it mean to be a strong person, but does it mean person who was not broken in the past? We understand how important is to provide the healing, non-judgmental, multicultural, multilingual healing environment opportunity to women
Hmm.
who are on the new path of the way to get it done correctly, to being supported. And this is not only an aspect of their life, this is for their families, for their communities, for their kids, their moms, their parents, their neighbors, for all around them. Because that healed woman, once she does it correctly and she's supported, she automatically spread the healthy lifestyle along the surrounding.
What it means is that all the coping strategies that you had built up to live in a life of trauma, when the trauma is taken away, those coping strategies are no use to you anymore. You need to find
Yes.
another way to live, an entirely new way to live. And that's what HSTAR Scotland does. It reaches, yeah, take someone's hand, really, don't you?
Yes, that's true. I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be driven by passion, by empathy and understanding, and by ability to follow the individual healing needs. Because we all different.
Mm.
There will be someone who just would like simply share their story. They don't necessarily want to learn anything. They just want to be heard. There are women who have reserves in terms of sharing what they went through or how they feel. They just would like to learn some coping strategies. So because of this, our therapy we provide is not only therapy, one model fit for all. No, based on every woman healing needs, we can assist that lady in a trauma recovery by therapy available in 26 languages.
26.
Yes, respecting her mother language, her roots, her faith, beliefs, religion, culture aspects. But we also deliver over 11 models of therapy based on the way how the woman will progress quickly and long-lasting recovery.
And now you applied for funding from the Women's Fund for Scotland.
Oh, yes.
and
Yes. And
and
I would say twice.
twice. And you was that for a specific project?
Yes, it was for a specific project. I would say it was including befriending and the trauma recovery counseling. So massive gratitude and obviously amazing impact, outcome, feedback, something beautiful. I think when we talk about funds, it's not only money. I think this is a woman's life returning to the community. This is the smile. This is the life with no fear. This is ability to interact with other people. This is to break the isolation. This is to leave the comfort zone of staying away from everyone. So what you've done by giving the money is amazing.
Well, I can't take credit.
This support was possible because we were considered for your help. Obviously, we rely on so many fundings and we actively seeking other sources of support. But every grant offered to us increase a number of beneficiaries, a number of successful, beautiful women who are empowered, who have their own self-confidence back, who look in the mirror and say, I want to get up and I want to wake up tomorrow. It's worth. The women who were like babies with no hope a while ago, they just have the self-love, self-compassion, believe in future. So thank you for that.
So you're giving women their lives back.
The women claiming their lives back, that's very interesting because we don't advise our ladies. We don't force them. What we do rather than advising them, we are taking the active approach, being with them through the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
So I said all the credit is the ladies' hard work about themselves.
Yes, but you are like the coach sitting at the edge of the 100-meter hurdle at the Olympic Games. The athlete wins the medal, but they couldn't do it without the coach, could they?
The HSTAR is, yes, like a coach, but there are a group of wonderful people who are the direct coach one-to-one, because, as I said, we are very, very person-centered, and that would never be possible if not our therapists in training, our postgraduate psychologists, our undergraduate psychologists, but also volunteers who were in service. Actually, a woman who came to get that help and they become so strong and compassionate, and now they supporting others. So I would say HSTAR as an organization, yes, is a nice coach looking after all the accuracy, governance, safeguarding, but it has a beautiful supporters who work with the ladies arm by arm.
When we talk about the money that you got from the Women's Fund for Scotland,
Mhm.
it's money raised by women to give to women.
That's amazing.
I think I feel that that's important.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful because there is a saying, every little helps. And for a long time, it took, I couldn't really get it, but now I absolutely feel it. That penny left by a woman, it's
Yeah.
not about how much, it's about her open up her heart, her mind, and understand in in the dynamic world there is a lot of possibilities to make the impact, to make the change, and obviously some of this must come through the payment. So it's beautiful the woman took active part of creating this opportunity.
Oh, yes, but it's also fantastic that they're now giving to women like you
Yes.
who are supporting women as well. You're dealing with a group of women though that's very difficult to reach. How do you find them?
We actually do not find them.
Oh, right.
They
Sorry, it's the other
find.
way around.
Yes, I would say when we look back 3 years ago, within the first year, we have actively supported 85 women, when in the year three, there were over 350 women supported by counseling, only therapies. It takes time for every organization to build a trust, credibility.
Ah, yes. Hmm.
At the moment, the vast majority of ladies in service come through external referrals
Ah, hmm.
from large organizations, actually from NHS, from local councils, from women's aids, from other charities, even from therapists who do not have that solid trauma sensitive knowledge. And this is the most beautiful. So at the moment, the ladies actively are referred. We refer about 20, 30 referrals a week.
A week.
A week. So we pay a lot of attention on the eligibility process, etc. So we have at the moment waiting list. We're very clear and transparent in terms of eligibility, intake assessment, designing and following the therapy about the needs. But as I said, we are not necessarily looking for the ladies. I know it doesn't sound modest. I'm sorry, but it is how it is. We know HSTAR through hard work, transparency, high monitoring, reporting tools. We build the trust and the ladies come to us. If there is a lady who feels I would like to get back on my feet, I would like to heal from the past, but she's not necessarily with any other third-party organization, she can go to our website and make a self-referral as well. So we give this opportunity to the ladies as well. So simple visit, read about who we are, what we do, click the self-referral link, and the lady can come to the service as well.
I am horrified by that figure. There's such a huge demand for your service.
It is. You see, this is something very important. I think we need to mention the pandemic and the consequences of COVID-19, because I would say we don't know how was the charity life prior to the pandemic, because simply we were not there.
Yeah.
But what we know from the day one, we had to learn how to provide a prompt, non-judgmental, multicultural response to the healing needs. While other organizations were closing the door,
Mm.
we needed to gradually increase the size of our door. Sometimes I call myself a womanist, not feminist. I'm not a feminist, but I'm a womanist. I love women and I love to be a woman. And I love when women love to be a woman. And when you see there is not much needed, just a opportunity to be healed, opportunity to be heard, opportunity to receive the therapy, you know you need to enlarge the size of the door. You need to do it. It is challenging in terms of funding, finding the right stuff, right therapists, but it's possible. Yes. So this service after pandemic is more and more in demand from day to day. There are so many aspects of trauma occurred during this time, triggering traumas which happened years prior to that. And sadly, I can say I'm happy about our growth, because that growth equal means so many broken hearts and souls which need support. Yes, I'm happy we are able to help so many women, but on the personal level, I feel really emotional how much trauma is there.
Hang on, that's another really important point that you've just made about COVID-19 and trauma. People think that an event happens in your life that's traumatic, then you get over it, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
But what you've revealed is that trauma can bury itself in the psyche, and something like COVID-19 just brings it right back out again.
Yes.
So you must have to be incredibly delicate when you're working with women, for example, who perhaps suffered trauma many years ago, and then you have to bring it all out and care for it.
Definitely. Recognizing the trauma and ability to accommodate the right therapy is very important. We cannot put trauma to one big bucket and say, okay, that's trauma, everyone has it.
Yeah.
Trauma can trigger women on very different levels. The way how we cope with it can be vary as well. So that is the reason why we really spend a lot of time and pay a lot of attention in terms of vetting and recruiting the right therapists. It's not only to be fully accredited or have the PVG,
Mm-hmm.
it's also to have a proven and evidence trauma work in the past, the knowledge, the skills which are very, very important.
That's a really, really important point. So
Yes.
your HSTAR Scotland is a sort of double-edged service. I mean, on the one hand, you have these women who've been traumatized that you're dealing with, but you also have to make sure that you get the right therapists. Now, that can't be easy.
It's not easy,
No.
but it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes us very, very proud to say that the group of our service providers is a group of wonderful people who are equipped in the expertise, knowledge, empathy, all the soft skills needed. It's wonderful. Sometimes it's time consuming, but it's worth, because it's not about the numbers. It's about the quality, about the safeguarding, about the long-lasting impact, not today's change.
Mm-hmm. All of these things have to be measured. Are you still doing a lot of work online, or have you managed to get back into personal?
Uh, we are very busy in every way.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
Part of providing individual therapy is accommodating to the client's needs. So let's say if we have someone who really wants face-to-face therapy, and we know we can deliver this therapy. In Glasgow, for example, we've got 2 places where we offer face-to-face. One is based in city centre, one in Easter House. So we'll try to accommodate that lady for face-to-face therapy to be seen by the therapist in there. But if the lady would like to speak to someone over the WhatsApp or phone, we'll respect it, and our therapist will connect with them over the phone. Some of the ladies are absolutely happy and comfortable to meet on Zoom because they are working and they can't make appointment during the office hours. So part of our service providers is designed to work after hours, so we can meet that need, because we don't want the lady to feel discomfort going to her boss and saying, I'm sorry, I have problems with trauma, I need therapy, can I take an hour lunch, or can I escape to the toilet, open my laptop? Or it's not what we want. We want this therapy not to be a conflict with their life. We want to be an integral friend leading them to something better. That's why some of our therapists work in the late afternoon or weekend sessions as well. But our HSTAR premises in Stirling are busy every day with face-to-face therapy. On Monday to Friday, we have either therapists in training, students of counseling, or therapists who are already accredited and fully qualified, meeting our ladies for face-to-face therapy. So we have about 20 to 30 sessions face-to-face from Stirling office only.
Good grief. I mean, I don't see an end to the demand for your work, do you?
No.
No.
The way how we try to work, we need to remember about our own boundaries.
Oh, yes. That's important.
Our own mental health, well-being, and about being assertive. So it's not easy. At the moment, we have something called CAP. So we just know this is the number of ladies monthly we can support.
I see.
No matter how much we would love to get more, no matter how much we would like to increase our work, by end of the day, we are women. Often we are moms. Often we have housekeeping duties. We have our ironing waiting for us, our tea time to be arranged. Sometimes we are wives, but we always need to remember that if we let the work take over us, we will never follow that demand. We'll actually decrease ability to help. So it is not easy, but we constantly learn how to take the boundaries under consideration with, yes, demand is there, but it doesn't mean that we must be killing ourselves to follow the need. We can only do what we can do. I believe we work really hard and really smart with beautiful hearts and mind and care about it. And yeah, I wish there could be maybe 2 more HSTARs founded, similar organizations, because HSTAR never looks at other charities as competition. We believe in the community, mutual engagement importance, and we believe as more organization make the impact as better, the community can benefit from it. So at the moment, we are not really able to think much about progressing more, increasing things, or growing more. What is happening now, it's a lot, but we don't want to lose the quality.
And I think that's absolutely vital. Ewelina, you've used a phrase a couple of times in this conversation, beautiful hearts and minds. And I feel as if I've just been talking to a beautiful heart, mind and soul. So thank you for being out there.
Thank you.
Ewelina.
Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry that you and HSTAR have to be out there and the demand is so high. But if there's anyone in a position to help the women that have to come to you, then it's definitely you and HSTAR. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us and listening to this story. I hope you've been inspired. And if you would like to support the Women's Fund for Scotland, search for us online and listen out for our other podcast episodes.